Happy to head on the hotline and joined by our new fullback. Andy Janovich joins us on the program today. Typically, Andy, the way that this would work is you would come in a world that we used to live in. You would come in, we would sign, we'd have a press conference, and then you would be escorted up the stairs in Berea, and we would be in the dog bowl, and you'd be joining us in studio for this interview. But instead, we will do it via telephone, my friend. How are you? Where are you? How's everything going?
I'm good. Thanks for having me, first off. But, I'm good. I'm just hanging out at home. I'm here in Denver right now and just trying to stay away from people, I guess.
Yeah, that's where we are. Welcome to the team, buddy. It's good to have you. When you started hearing about this situation to come to Cleveland to play in a Kevin Stefanski offense that you knew was going to really utilize the fullback, how did you first get wind of it, and what was your reaction to it?
I caught wind. I talked to the GM, and he told me all about it, and a couple other people actually. But I know he was friends with Kubiak, and I ran a year under Kubiak's offense and absolutely loved it. So, just hearing the news about that, I was super excited. I just want to go out there and be able to play.
Andy, what is it about this wide zone offense and this scheme in particular that you like so much?
Just the way that they utilize a fullback. It's not always just, running downhill and trying to hit linebackers. They'll split you out a little bit. I'm not the best route runner in the world, but it's a little bit of a change up, and I enjoy doing it from time to time. And I think, it messes with defenses a lot too. It's hard there's so much, play action and movement with the fullback. Sometimes it's hard for them to get a key on what's going on.
Andy, you said you're not a great route runner, but by my calculations, you've averaged over 10 yards a catch for your career. That's pretty good for a fullback. So obviously there's some skill there in the receiving game.
Yeah, I'm not outrunning anybody, so I guess they must
You're running them over.
Coverage or forget that I'm there.
It's a good fit, and it's something where you're going to be used a lot here, and the offense fits. When you think about the other skill position talent on this offense, you're going to have Nick Chubb and Kareem Hunt behind you, and you got Odell Beckham and Jarvis Landry on the outside, and think about Hooper at tight end with Njoku and Baker at quarterback. This from our vantage point has a potential to be a pretty dynamic offense. What's your role in it? How do you fit into it? And as you look around and you say, boy, we ought to accomplish something special there, do those thoughts run through your mind?
Yeah, absolutely. I think, with the running backs that we have, if we can establish the running game, which, you want to do in every single game so you can open up your playbook, and you start taking shots downfield with Odell and Jarvis, and, it can be a powerful, explosive offense. Just having weapons like that, it's going to be pretty special.
It has an opportunity to be pretty good, and I think a lot of people are excited about this offense. But for a guy like yourself, you mentioned you're trying to stay away from people. We all are. How do you, especially coming off of an injury, how are you able to stay in shape during this time, and kind of how are you, preparing in a season that is likely to have a very limited off season, if it has one at all, to really be ready to come in and help take advantage of all that talent?
Right now I'm just, trying to do push-ups, sit-ups at home by myself. But luckily I'll be on the road to Nebraska on Wednesday, and I'll be able to use my dad's weight set, that I used growing up, so I can at least get back into the weight room from that standpoint. And, the football field that I grew up playing in high school and stuff, it's a mile down the road, so I can, get on the field and run routes or just stay in shape. But the aspect of, we're not going to be able to, more than likely, in OTAs run together. It's going to be interesting to see how that all works out.
Yeah, it certainly is. Talking to Andy Janovich, our new fullback, joining the team via trade from the Denver Broncos. Played his college football at the University of Nebraska. Grew up in Gretna, Nebraska. Let's talk a little bit about that. When you grow up in that state, at what age are you aware of what it means to wear the white helmet with the big red N on it, and to the potential to play for that program? At what age does that become part of your life?
Yeah, shoot, pretty much as soon as you know what football is. Nebraska football is our professional sports team, and everything else. That's all people care about in Nebraska. So growing up playing football, that's pretty much what 99% of all kids want to do is play, for Nebraska. So, I had an uncle, Jerry Murtaugh. He played back in the 70s and won a national championship. And I mean, just having an uncle in that stand, it's like, shoot, I want to play for Nebraska, and I want to be like my Uncle Jerry.
And they had a list of guys who played the position you played who were great at it. And I think probably the greatest college football team I've ever seen was '95 Nebraska. I'm sure many people in your state think that way as well. Just so absolutely dominant. When were you? When did it become? At what age did it become a real possibility for you to play there? That your talent, you were like, okay, I think I can do this.
Really my senior year of high school. I mean, I had a pretty good season. Nebraska was coming in every now and again, but they offered me a walk-on position, and I decided that I'd take it and said, this is what I want to do. I don't want to play anywhere else, so I'd rather walk on here than, go somewhere else and get a scholarship.
Did you have a hard decision to make, though? I would imagine that football, which we're talking about, you decided to walk on there, but I think we'd be remiss if we didn't acknowledge the fact that you're a two-time state wrestling champion. Nebraska Class B 189-pound title, the 53-0 record in 2010-11, and then in 2011-12. By the way, we'll have to talk about this. You jumped all the way to 220 and went 46-0. So was there ever a thought in your mind that, hey, maybe I should actually go and pursue wrestling, and you could follow the great Rob Gronkowski right through the NFL into the WWE? Who knows? But obviously a star high school wrestler you were. Was that ever a consideration as well?
Honestly, not really. I mean, I liked wrestling and all that, but I knew that I always wanted to play football. There was never any second guessing for me. I mean, it was football all the way. I just love it.
Let me ask you this.
Go ahead,
real quick. 189 you were in 2010, 2011, 220 in 2011, 2012. That is a massive 30-pound gain in a year. How in the world did you do that, or was 189 you suppressing everything possible to hit that weight?
Well, 189, I was really more like 200, just cut down to 189 to wrestle in that spot. And then I only gained 10 pounds that year. I was more 205 to 210, so I just decided I'm not cutting weight anymore. I know I'm going to play football, so I'll just wrestle 220, and I don't care about the weight difference.
Andy, you wore 32, of course, in Denver. That one doesn't get handed out here. Do you have a number assignment yet, and what thought did you give to it?
I haven't really thought. I mean, with the Broncos, they gave me three options, 32, 34, or 38. So I was assuming that they just give me a handful of options. I could sort that out, or they'll just assign me something. So I haven't really given that a whole lot of thought.
What do you love about football? Because I'd imagine it sounds to me, I've seen some of your social media videos, et cetera. Do you just love the physicality of it and just getting after people?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that's the best part of football.
That's great. You're going to have that opportunity certainly in this offense, and for you, going someplace where they are going to use folks. In a trade, this isn't free agency. It's not like you got to say, okay, this is the perfect fit. It's obviously the fact that the Browns wanted you says they have plans for a fullback, but how exciting is it for you to get back to a system and a scheme where you know that the fullback is going to be of critical importance to what they try to do on offense?
Extremely. I mean, I've been in a handful of offenses like this, and just having the opportunity to play, I mean, that's all you could ask for. And, my second year in Denver, we had Mike McCoy, and, I mean, I was averaging 10 snaps a game and kind of just, hanging out on the bench or playing special teams. So to actually get a play, it's, a dream come true, and I'm super excited about it.
Well, Andy, welcome to the Browns. Look forward to seeing you here hopefully sometime relatively soon, and you being a real integral part of this offense that Kevin Stefanski's putting in, my friend. Thanks for taking some time today.
Yeah, thanks for having me.